welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Sophia, and today we'll be beginning with the Nakshatra series, starting with Ashwini, which is connected to the fixed star Sheraton. Okay, it's located at 0 degrees 0 minutes to 13 degrees and 20 minutes of Aries. So first we want to understand how Ashwini came into being. In the beginning of the universe's creation, only sound existed. Dark and light emerged as a function of sound vibration. Someone roared loud enough for the vibrations to organize themselves into what we understand of our universe today. So every culture in the world has a version of this god who roared. In Hindu Sanatan Dharma, they call this lord Rudra, with variations following through the seasons as Rama. In the Egyptian and Lemurian mythologies, they worshipped a deity called Ra and Ara. Many such examples exist. It was natural to start the zodiac of our solar system with the symbolism of the ram of Aries, ruled by Mars. And the first nakshatra within Aries was the fixed star Sheraton. Ketu, the south node of the moon's orbit, lords this nakshatra. But stories are just that, creation within someone's mind, in this case, Rudra's mind. When sound energies organize themselves into a fully functioning structure that could hold many souls to simulate in the canvas of 3D reality, clusters of families started to emerge as a self-governing system. The Milky Way became a unit of souls, localized and tied to one such entity. The galactic center is a supermassive black hole. It is also a projector, just like the one you have in movie theaters. Contained within the galactic center are variables of data that govern the physics of our galaxy, projected out into space-time as manifested particles of matter. So, we want to understand Ketu's importance in Ashwini. Ashwini in Aries, Maka in Leo, Mula in Sagittarius, tightly linked with the south node of the moon Ketu. These all nakshatras are rajasic in nature. It wants to experience reality. In mythology, Ketu is a headless body. He's a great facilitator of creation and liberation, where the story begins and collapses. While Rahu is the facilitator of the great illusion, Ketu brings about liberation. And this is where the fun begins. When the sun and the moon eclipse in space-time by Ketu and Rahu, something remarkable happens. The energies of Earth shift by several degrees and a new cycle of energies clicks into gear, initiating a brand new timeline of events. This is what we know as the roots of creation. While Rahu, the north node, is the significator of the great unknown, Ketu is the root of all creation, from where everything begins and grows. This is the galactic center's personification within our solar system, from where there is no escape. The Ashwini Nakshatra beings are the very first of this evolutionary zodiac belt. The stars within this nakshatra are ruled by Mars, but Ketu is the mastermind. The fixed star in this system is Sheraton. Many souls from Sheraton have incarnated into Gaia to share their journeys with us. The ruling deities governing this powerful fixed star are known as the Ashwini Kumaras. They are known as horse beings, who are known for their healing powers and are known as the physician to the gods themselves. The mythology goes like this. The sun fell in love with its shadowed child. every time it got too close to Chaya, she sort of disappeared. So the sun pursued her into the forests where there was ample shade, and they birthed together the Ashwini Kumaras. Born from the energies of light and dark, so the sun and shadow, the natives of this nakshatra are rather powerful, energetic beings. Back on Earth, they're also lorded by Ganesha and Brahma, who are the dispositors of knowledge of all creation within the universe. Ashwini Kumaras can heal anyone, bring back the dead, and cure impotency, if that is a problem. They like to initiate and lead. So some of their personality traits and professional callings are quite interesting to notice on the 3D plane. They are incredibly equestrian in designs. They have a love for horses. They exhibit their characters early on in life, meaning if they're passionate about something, they will be let it known. Ashwini natives like to race into open fields and take hairpin bends at breakneck speeds without so much as breaking a sweat. Yes, they can be impulsive, but they are acutely aware of risk, and they can also save people from burning buildings by jumping headfirst into the fire. They're very protective. With immense sexual appeal, fit bodies, and charismatic, albeit naive charm, they project an image of instant attraction. They have great sense of humor. After all, even the gods claim that the creation is one big cosmic joke. So you might as well pick a side and laugh anyway. But as initiators of the Zodiac, they take their roles seriously when called upon. They seek to be unique in their chosen field and have a thirst to prove themselves. Medicine, nursing, Ayurveda, and healing tools, even with energy, are tools of their trade. They can often have overflowing medicine cabinets in their homes, or, they can be healers and be friends with hypochondriacs. They quite automatically become friends. Can you guess why? Early life challenges are also seen with these nakshatra and their natives. So the first 7 years of Ashwini's life are often dissatisfactory. In true Ketu fashion, they are disconnected from their social groups and feel like misfits. From the fear of being undiscovered, they easily reveal their inner selves and often realize the pitfalls of befriending unworthy listeners too quickly. Sun is exalted here in this nakshatra. Remember that the sun had mated with its own shadow, so the first symbols of creation are marked by youthfulness, attractiveness, and ego. But Ketu's fire is generally pure. Like children, they too are pure. So the Ashwini Kumaras may be skilled physicians, and yet they need guidance on their paths. They also need courage and transformation. One might say that the Ashwinis are overly courageous, in fact. They might say that they're naively courageous as well. But fearlessness has its place. They can become pioneers of avenues no one will dare venture into. This is Ketu's inner resources and Mars' strength that makes them reckless. Remember, Ashwini natives are born from the tumultuous storms between the infinite waters of Pisces into the raging fire of Aries, like a volcano erupting all the way to the surface from the Marianas Trench. So be sure that the lava forms new lands when it cools. When charging head first, the native often burns out quickly, transforms, and starts again. The transformation is recurring with abrupt beginnings. They are direct in their approach, and they like straight talk, and can sometimes get them in trouble. So the souls must be one step ahead of everyone. Should they feel passivity and restraint are not really their forte. although diplomacy and caution is highly recommended for Ashwini natives. You can also see a lot of startup entrepreneurs, pioneers in biomedicine, doctors without borders, aged caregivers, natural healers, and adventurers of all sorts are born under the influence of the fixed star Sheraton. Sheraton is a very interesting fixed star because to understand it, you need to understand Ketu and Mars because they are the biggest held secrets of Ashwini. If you understand their combined purpose, you can master this nakshatra in your chart as well. And I have described much of Ketu's story in the beginning, but there is an infinite amount yet to be explored. Just like the singularity of the black hole, it is the most mysterious entity in our solar system. So what is Ketu in the natal chart? In your natal chart, Ketu's placement can represent your past karmas, ancestral heritage, and the information coded into your DNA. Locally, it's your maternal grandfather, and Ketu's central home is in the 12th house of liberation. Ketu also represents cuts, surgeries, and flags. It cuts you out of the material world, heals you, and represents all that you have accomplished in your past lives. Placement within the natal chart will ultimately decide if the native can become a true healer or not. However, Ketu never settles for mediocrity and will push the native to its highest potential in one lifetime alone. Understanding Mars will also bring you clarity with Ashwini, because Mars is the general of the army, led by the Sun, who is the king of this solar system. Mars is a local hero. It initiates, leads you into wars, fights to stay alive, and wins battles for the kingdom. It is also pure-hearted. It is also a celibate and a vegetarian. Mars is much like a killer with principles. He takes lives to defend others. Locally, it could be representing your siblings or your neighbors. But because Mars rules the natural first and eighth houses of the original zodiac, it deals with births and deaths. So natives born under Ashwini and its influence have a masculine approach to spirituality and healing. They are very outward focused, so healing is projected into the material world. They serve others, but their beginnings are often selfish, just like children. But when they fall from that dream, their spiritual journey truly begins. So we absolutely need the Ashwini Kumaras to understand our zodiac. It's very interesting that our zodiac begins with the concept of healing, not so much as a beginning, because the simulations, they're not straight lines. They don't follow a path. They loop, they spiral. Ketu initiates the spiral by burning through what no longer belongs to you, what you've carried on from past lives. So paradoxically, we begin with healing and then initiate into a new cycle. So I hope this podcast on Ashwini was interesting to you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.